I'm so happy to be here to introduce myself to you, to bring so many special guests from normal people that just want to show where their lives have been and where they are today, to celebrities, to people that can educate us and make us be better in our lives. Hi, everybody. It's Christy Buss with Ageless Ambitions on Lux Media Studios. And we're really glad to be here. We have two special guests who are great partners. And I have Mariah Broad and Joseph Barber. And you guys are like what are you? Holistic brokers. And I wanted to know what that was all about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, thanks for having us, Christy.
yeah, Christy, thank you so much. This is such an honor. We're just really enjoying that we have this opportunity to talk with you and your viewers here.
Thank you. Hey, this is about learning about wellness, health, and, this is what's going to keep us going for longevity in our lives. So, as a holistic broker, tell me what that's all about. And I know you guys are like hydration experts, and that's what you taught me too. So, that's
Yeah.
what I wanted to get the word out.
I love that. Yeah, and we're here for longevity too. We want to live to 120 and beyond. And our bodies are designed to do that, but because of the environment and the toxins and the stressors and what's in our food and our water, we're really kind of
That's why
battling.
we're sick, right?
Exactly. So
Yeah.
learning that we're 75% water,
Mhm.
and that is a huge part of the health puzzle. And Joseph can share a little bit about his background. We just decided to do this full time and educate people on.
Well, when I see you guys on Instagram and you promote what you know, and just to know like things like, bubble water are really, really not good for you. And I used to drink that all the time. So tell me what that has to do with not being good for your body.
I think, yeah, Mariah used to drink a lot of
You did
sparkling
too?
water
that
too.
that was my
Yeah.
go-to. And
Right.
I thought that I was doing the right thing because it was mineral water, and I
Yeah.
liked that it was in glass because I was trying to be aware of the plastic situation. But what I learned is that water's been infused with a CO2 gas, which is highly acidic. And
Mhm.
when we consume acidic things, whether it's the food or the things that we drink, we're adding to the acidity levels inside of our body.
And what does that do? It makes us sick, right?
It does lean towards that. So what the studies have shown is that diseases flourish in an acidic environment, and and they do the opposite in a more alkaline environment. So why do you eat fruits and vegetables?
Only because I know they're good for me.
Exactly, right? Because they're good for you and they're full of antioxidants. And the
Okay.
antioxidants, what they do, they're like Pac-Man that eat things that are oxidizing. And that's free radical damage. And they wreak havoc on our cells, our skin, everything. So if we can consume things that are antioxidant rich, then we can prevent all of that damage. And what I didn't know until I met Joseph, a few years back, and his dad was really sick, and they decided to switch to a more alkaline diet and change their water. Is that we learned that water is intended to be full of antioxidants. If
Mhm.
you have access to a spring, like I don't know if you ever heard of the blue zones around the world, they have these aquifers that are naturally alkaline and full of antioxidant
Where's
rich.
that at? Where's that at? Like, what are you talking about?
They're in Italy, Lourdes, France.
Oh,
Okinawa, Japan.
let's go.
There's one in Mexico.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I'm down. So that's where the water comes out of the earth. It's
Mhm.
charged, it's mineral rich, it's alkalized, it has other amazing properties, which is what we're big on is making sure we get that type of water. And growing up, a lot of people, we just think all water is equal, like comes out of the tap, it comes out of the hose,
Comes
it's
out of a bottle.
a whatever
Well,
bottle.
I
That's the
heard
thing.
like plastic bottles, like they seep things especially if the bottles are hot, that it's creating some kind of
Exactly.
chemical in there that's really hurting yourself.
Mhm.
You're
Is that
absolutely
true?
right. It's very true. And I know for me, I used to be like, oh, I want to make sure I'm getting the cold water out of the fridge and I'm not going to leave my water bottles in the car. But I never stopped to think that how did those bottles get to the store in the first place? They came
Mhm.
over on freighters, trains, planes,
And
and they've already been in the sun.
right, so that's not good, right? We don't know how long that bottle has had the water in it too when we go get the bottled water.
It's true, and
Right.
there's studies showing now that there's
Um,
microplastics not just inside of us, but they just recently found them inside the umbilical cords of babies. So we're in the short lifespan of plastics. They haven't been around that long. We have done some pretty irreversible damage. So
I think
To our
um,
there's
bodies? To our bodies?
our planet, our
Planet.
bodies, yeah.
I think we
So
can reverse a lot of damage that's done in our body. And kind of just a quick backstory with how Mariah and I got on this path. We started our holistic hydro brand. Um, but it goes back to when I helped my dad. He had a 4-stage cancer in 2014, 2015.
Wow.
And we were looking into holistic ways. So we changed his diet. He changed his diet.
he
And
was the support, him and his brothers and sisters
and
in
then that's
line.
when we started learning about water. And I remember growing up, going to baseball games or surfing all day in the hot sun, and my water would just be there on the beach or in the car. But now realizing that the sun and water over time, it's going to leach out like nanoplastics, BPA, whatever else is in there.
Mm.
And then that gets into your body and like disrupts your chemicals,
Hormones,
hormones,
endocrines, yeah.
etc.
Well, that's how I mean, to me, like that's how everybody's before when I was younger, like I never heard of cancer the way it is now. So that everything that's, you know, processed and easy to get, like a bottle of water, that was never when I was in school. You had to go to the drinking fountain, right? So
Right.
Right.
everything's changed to be instant and have it right now. So these bottles of water are really hurting us on all levels. So when it comes to alkaline, that's going to balance out your body when you drink it. What is it? What does it do for you? What are the benefits?
So I love that you asked that question. And just to go back, yeah, like modern conveniences, they're very convenient, but what's the price that we're paying for it ultimately?
Mhm.
So alkaline water, it's been such a trend, right? Like everywhere you look, there's alkaline water in bottles, and every brand has them. But what I didn't know is that true alkaline water actually can only exist in nature. So the water that we see on the shelves, if you
Even though it's alkaline.
even though it's alkaline. So, and if any of your viewers want to reach out to us, we have some really cool research and some doctors that can explain it possibly better than I can, probably most definitely. But that the water that nature intended for us to drink is naturally alkaline. But the bottled water that's in the stores, if you look at the labels, you'll see that there's additives
Mhm.
because water, just like living food, it's living. And when you remove it from its source, like the spring, it has an expiration date, really. So
Mm.
at the time that they did bottle the water, it's very possible that it was alkaline, but in order for it to stay alkaline on the shelves over time, they have to add additives like baking soda. You'll see
I
sodium
didn't know
bicarbonate
that.
salts. Yeah, so and that's really hard on our kidneys over time. So you'll see a lot of doctors saying, don't drink alkaline water, it's bad on your kidneys. And they're absolutely right.
Mhm.
But if you
Okay.
had access to source water that was naturally alkaline, which is that we partnered with a 50-year-old Japanese technology company that gives you the possibility and opportunity to have your own source water in your home that's truly naturally alkaline without chemicals.
And then it also on that machine has like skin, like a level for skin, right? So you can take care of your skin. And then there's also a low pH so that you can clean your house without chemicals.
Exactly. So yeah, there's a beauty water. I love it. I surf almost every day. You gotta rehydrate because our skin, what's the largest organ in our body? It's our
Right,
skin,
right.
right? So you can actually like hydrate through your skin, and other bad stuff can go through there too. So that's an amazing water. And especially people who are curious about getting better water, probably interested in removing toxins from their home as well. like a lot of bad cleaners, fragrances. So this machine does create like a super acidic water that is a great disinfectant.
So you don't need those wipes and stuff like that. So you get that in the plastic thing, and then you got the wipes that you have
Yeah,
to throw away. So
for
you're
trash.
saving so much when you just use the machine.
You save so much money, you save so much packaging, and also just the toxins, whether you have little ones crawling around the house, your dogs,
Mm.
we have our penny girl here.
She's chilling.
They're all susceptible to toxins. And I think all of us are waking up more and more to all of that and wanting to eliminate it from our
And
homes.
I'll add about that cleaning disinfectant water.
Hmm.
This is why these machines are actually medical certified Japanese devices, and they use them over in Japan and over 400 hospitals. Obviously, it's like a larger unit, but this is like a smaller unit for the
Hmm.
house. So
Hmm.
it is Japanese medical certified, and they actually use this water to disinfect their equipment,
Surgical
and it's
equipment.
safe on the skin too.
Watch to the end if you've been concerned about poisons on our food. When I learned that farmers use oil-based pesticides and herbicides on our produce to prevent the herbicides and pesticides from washing off in the rain and when they're watering their crops, it made sense to me that my entire lifetime of washing my produce in tap water or veggie washes just was not doing the trick. It also made me realize it's no wonder that so many cancers, birth defects, and other things are on the rise that are all linked to these pesticides and herbicides. These things are even found on organic. The only thing I've ever seen visibly break down those oil-based pesticides is the 11.5 super alkaline water from this machine. And it does so just using water. There's no detergents or chemicals or anything else that can absorb into your fruit and vegetables. I know we live in a toxic world where so many things are so scary, but there's so many great solutions as well, this machine being one of them. There you can see that nothing comes off from the tap water on the tomatoes, and on the left there is just the simple water, the super alkaline 11.5. To me, this is empowering. Text water if you'd like to learn more.
So with the machine, it's amazing because the Japanese technology that's in this machine, they replicated what nature does naturally. So
Hmm.
you're able to have your own living spring source in your own home. So I think it's so empowering because you're able to not have to rely on the Coca-Cola or Pepsi bottled water companies, eliminate the plastics and all those other things that go along with it. So the machine is so unique in that it doesn't just make drinking water like we were mentioning. At the push of a button, you can, push a button and have it's like high-end toner coming right out of the machine, right? Like the beauty water for your skin. You can push another button and have the high acid water for cleaning. And one of my favorites, which I think is really powerful, is that there's a water that dissolves oil, and we use it for cleansing produce to dissolve oil-based pesticides. And you can visibly see the pesticides.
That's what I wanted to say. Okay, so is that the the one that you clean with too?
So yeah, there's when you push the button for the cleaning water, it produces two waters. So the technology of the machine is that it splits the water into a positive and a negative charge. And you can use the negative charge, which is the antioxidants,
Mhm.
either for drinking or the high cleaning.
What I loved about this, because even when you get organic, like vegetables, like my carrots, right? You still want to soak them because there's still stuff on it.
Exactly.
And I did that. I watch your Instagrams and you always demonstrate some stuff. And I saw that. I'm like, oh my gosh, I still have to really soak these so that all kinds of junk comes off of it. Is that pesticides too? Even though it says organic?
Yeah, so
Mm.
we've learned that like the organic label isn't everything that it used to be. And there are some herbicides and pesticides, that they are allowed to use.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
On organic?
Yeah, so I would just ask everyone to do your research. You can look up like what are organic pesticides and herbicides that are legal to use, or say that organic field is next to a conventional field. A lot of the planes that fly over, you ever seen them? You're passing
Yeah.
going up north.
Just like when you used to smoke in the first part of the
Yeah,
plane, and then
exactly.
you're in the seat right behind them and you get all the smoke.
But
Absolutely.
even organic produce just uses, quote, organic pesticides, which are legally deemed safer for consumption, but not necessarily so.
Yeah, and I just want to say I have nothing bad to say about farmers. I mean, we love farmers. We depend on them for our food, and I get it. You know, it's kind of like a necessary evil. Like you have to protect your crops, right? To protect,
That's like my skincare. You know, you need preservatives in there so
right.
that doesn't mold.
And
Mhm.
you know, I think that it's just again, I like to empower people and look for solutions. That's what they have to do. You can take your own power back by making sure that you can then clean it and protect it in your own home.
That's so great.
Yeah,
I mean, I've done that and it makes me feel so much better to eat my food.
I love that. Me too.
And it
Yeah.
does taste better. A lot of times you
It
see
does
stuff
taste
washing
better.
off, and it's if there's any bacteria on there or stuff like that from handling, it's gonna remove all that, clean it. It's gonna be perfectly safe. They use this machine in like some 3-star restaurants too.
And you can use
So
it to sanitize your fish, your cutting boards, you know, all of those things. And I mean, they have them in a lot of, you know, high-end 5-star restaurants because, you know, when you're in the middle of,
5 stars. I
yeah,
said 3-star.
when you're in the middle of a food service and there's a
Yeah.
spill or something, you can't spray like a Clorox or something. 'Cause
Right, right.
so you're able to utilize that disinfecting
Mm.
water. And it's just water because it wouldn't do any type of
I
contamination.
don't think people realize how just a little machine can change your life. And to know that that's all it takes. If you pay for
Yeah.
something now, like you buy good food, you probably aren't going to pay later of having really bad health and or doctor bills that you know you can barely afford because of how sick you got. So if you
Yeah.
take care of it now,
Yeah.
you're in such a better position.
Absolutely. And you know, what helped us realize and we help others do the same is that most people are already spending the money. So if you add up what you're spending on your water, whether it's your water delivery or your bottled water,
Cleaning
your cleaning
supplies, beauty
supplies,
supplies.
you know, your hair, it's great for your hair detangler. You could have had like 10 of these machines by now. And the thing is that they're built to last. The company is just turning 50 years old and they have machines that are still going strong there in Japan. So, you know, it's an amazing investment.
I would just want to say, like, whoever, the family friend that shared it with my dad actually gave my dad a machine, which is still going almost 15 years.
Yeah.
And so he had cancer, stage 4 cancer. Let's go back to that real quick.
Yeah.
He's fine. He's doing good.
He's 100% better today. Cancer free. He did a bio body scan a few months ago, like 100% healthy. He changed his lifestyle, his habits. He was under a lot of stress, eating fast food, even though he was like an active guy. Who knows what the root cause was, but it had developed over time, just, the American diet.
Yeah. And we can, by no means can we make any type of medical claim. I just want to say that. But what we do know is that our bodies are designed to heal themselves, like we said earlier, if given the right environment. So if you eliminate the source of stress and toxins and then flood the body with proper hydration and nutrients and antioxidants, you have
a better chance to
100%.
have a beautiful life and not feel like, oh, I'm getting old, so this is supposed to happen to me. That's what people think, I think. Like they just go, oh, well, I'm going down. So,
oh my gosh, we were just talking about that where someone's like, oh, this is what happens when you turn 30, 40, 50. Like they just accept it. And it's like, no.
That's what this show's about.
Yeah.
Okay. We want to make people aware that ageless is huge. You can do as much as you want if you learn how to take care of your body in the best way and your whole environment and just be your best you to live as long as you want.
Totally.
Absolutely.
And thrive. You don't want to be 100 and be like in a senior home on meds. You want to be thriving, like moving. And with the knowledge we have, the research, the technologies that are out there, we're going to be able to live into our hundreds, I believe. And people are right now, like 80s, 90s thriving. In Okinawa.
Yeah, the people in the blue zones, I was going to say, like in Okinawa, they have the longest living people, and they found that it has so much to do with their diet, the community, their water, and so
which relates even to your gut health, and that's big too, like your gut. I am so happy that you guys came and talked to us, and I can't wait for them to see the demonstration. I hope they follow you. What is your Instagram? Because you're always showing amazing
Yeah, thank
demonstrations
you.
to really let us understand it doesn't take that much to live a better life.
True, true.
Absolutely. So our Instagram and our TikTok are both the same, which is at Arctic Desert Life, ARCTIC Desert Life.
Because you go from the Arctic to the desert. That's your guys' life.
Yeah.
We just got back from Sedona
Okay.
yesterday, and now we're
Nice.
back at the beach. So
Yeah,
Well,
we love the hot and the cold and the yin and the yang, the masculine and
Yeah.
feminine.
well, you guys are such a cute couple.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Christy.
Thank you for being
Christy.
here.
Thank you for having us.
I'm going to get all your information. I'm so proud of you guys to be my first guest on my Ageless Ambitions because it was so
Honored.
important for me to express how important it is to understand hydration and alkaline. And it's just something that if you learn about it, you're going to want to really understand that that's something you want to do for yourself.
Thank you so much. And I love that. I know that, you've had your machine now for several months, so you've been able to experience it in your home firsthand. And I love that
I
you're,
took the leap.
that's it.
I
Amazing.
took the leap. I just didn't want to spend money on obviously bottled water, but I also knew that it wasn't good for you. So
Yeah, totally.
thank you guys. I appreciate you. My surfer and my makeup artist turned brokers. Thank you guys for being here.
Thank you.
Our pleasure.
Bye.
Glutathione is a big word. It's the body's own master antioxidant. It's a scavenger for free radical, bacteria, and viruses. There are no products in the market with the ingredient NASET. NASET increases the production of glutathione that's in our body already to strengthen and enhance our immune system, elevate sense of well-being, support muscle strength and endurance, cognitive function, and liver support. It helps with increased energy and blood sugar regulation. Get your bottle of GSH Plus from www.salvationnutra.com.